Hello my friends. Today I am making some chaffles. Unless you've been, dare I say, living under a rock, you must have heard about chaffles. But if not, a chaffle is basically a waffle made out of mostly cheese. So it is a way that us trim healthy mamas can have you can use them in a lot of different ways, and we can have them as an S, let's put it that way. So you can make a chaffle savory or sweet. So what I am making tonight is a pizza chaffle. So if that sounds good, stick around. My name is Christy with Help for Your Journey, where my goal is to encourage and inspire you in your trim healthy mama lifestyle. So the base of a chaffle is shredded mozzarella cheese. And you might be like, okay, that sounds gross. How does that work in a sweet setting? But I am telling you what, you can't taste it. You really can't. And the texture of it is very bread-like. They're delicious. They are so good. So you need a waffle iron in order to make these. And the one that I started out with, the brand is called Dash. You can find these on Amazon for about $10, $12-ish, I think. And this worked for a while, but when you need to make like 12 of these, doing it one by one really takes a long time. These do tend to take a little longer than normal waffles would to cook. So we're not gonna go by the lights on the top. What I have here is the same brand Dash, but this makes 4 at a time. This is actually the first time I'm using this, and I'm super excited. My husband got this for me, and I know it's gonna be wonderful. So I'm not going to go by the lights that are on the top of this. I'm going to wait and see when the steam stops coming out. When it stops steaming, that's when it's done. So what I have in my bowl right now, I'm actually doing a triple batch. The recipe that I'm gonna link in the description box actually gives multiple different recipes for chaffles, sweet and savory, but it's only for 1 serving, which they say is 2 chaffles, but I actually get 3 when I make them. I'm not sure why, but if I try to get 2, they just go all over the place, and you know that it's too much. So 3 seems to work out perfect. So what I have in here is mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, just this cheapo green can stuff, and eggs. That is all I have in here right now. I'm going to add my spices. Now, I strayed from the recipe, big surprise, right? I heard about this pizza seasoning, McCormick pizza seasoning. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really good stuff. I mean, it's like pizza in a bottle. It's so good. So instead of the Italian seasoning that the recipe calls for, I'm using this pizza seasoning instead. I did add a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm also adding some baking powder. So I have my seasonings in this little bowl here, and I'm just going to give it a quick mix, get those spices incorporated. Now, some people say that chaffles don't get crispy, and I'm not sure why they're saying that. Like, I have not had that problem. One thing that I did see in a video that I watched about chaffles is that when you take them out of the waffle iron, if you put them on a rack and just let them sit and cool off for a minute, that they will crisp up when you do that. You also, if you want to, can put a little sprinkle of this cheese down on the waffle iron before you put your dough in, and that will also crisp up. I have done that before and it did work, but I used all of this in my dough, so I don't have any to do. So I'm gonna just open this up And I am going to give it a little spray. Not a lot, just a little. Now, you need less than you think. You put it in there, and then I kind of am pushing it down with a fork, and as it starts to cook and the cheese begins to melt, it's going to spread. So you really, let me just say again, you really need less than you think. If you overfill it, it's just gonna make a mess. It's just gonna go everywhere. It's not gonna do you any favors to overfill it. So let me get this in here, and we're gonna let the first batch go. And I'm gonna see, let's see if we can even see the steam on this. In the little individual one, you could really see the steam coming out of the sides as it was cooking. I'm not seeing, oh yeah, yes I am. Okay, I'm seeing some steam. So I am just going to kind of wait, and oh, I'm seeing a lot of steam now. That's good, that helps me. So I am going to go through and cook all of these, put them on my rack, and I will be back in a minute to show you what they look like and to show you how I top them. I wanted to add in one more comment about chaffles. Well, actually it's a couple comments. If you're going to go to the trouble of making these, which it really isn't, it's not a lot of hands-on time, you might as well make a big batch. These freeze great. Let them cool all the way. Put them on a cookie sheet in a single layer, stick them in your freezer, and once they're frozen, put them all into like a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and then they will all be separate from each other, and you can grab as many out as you need. Another tip for these pizza chaffles, if you have some of these on hand, if your family, somebody comes home with a pizza and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to eat that so bad, grab a couple of these, get them into your toaster, take the toppings off of the pizza, and plop the toppings on your chaffle. One time we got invited to the house of some friends of ours, and they were going to make this elaborate specialty pizza, and I did not want to be tempted to eat it, so what I did was I made these, I took a couple with me, I asked them if I could use their toaster, I put it in there, and then I took the toppings off of the pizza. It was delicious. I didn't feel like I was missing out on time spent with friends. I got to enjoy pizza, which who doesn't want to do that? But yet I stayed on plan. Knowledge is power, you guys. Call your host, find out what's being served. Ask them if they care if you bring something. People are cool about it. They are not going to care. So just a couple of tips about chaffles and what you can do with them. Alrighty. So I timed how long it took for 4 of these to cook, since, like I said, I'm not watching the lighting on the top, and it was about 8 minutes for it to be done. So I'm gonna get these out and I'm gonna show you what these look like up close. They come out just so easily and cleanly out of here. All right, let me show you. Look at that. So good, smells so good in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put these on a cookie sheet that I lined with some parchment. I'm going to put some pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, and pop it in the oven long enough for the cheese to melt. So I did want to let you know the pizza sauce that I normally get is the Great Value brand. This is Walmart's brand. There is no added sugar to this. The only sugar that you will see on the label is the sugar that comes naturally in the tomatoes. And this was crazy. When I went to put this in my Walmart pickup order, the little jar, I don't know how many ounces it is, maybe I'm gonna say like 10 ounces, was the same price, I'm not even kidding, as this jar that is 23.9 ounces. So we're gonna use this on these tonight, and I think we may even have these again later on in the week. And then after that, I will take this pizza sauce and I will put it into containers and freeze it, maybe in 1 cup or so portions. This 1 jar of pizza sauce is gonna last a long time, and I wanna say it was like $1.20. So that was an awesome deal. I could not believe that it was the same price for this big one as for the smaller one. So I'm just gonna finish, I'm gonna top these, get them in the oven, and we're gonna enjoy some dinner. So if you found value in this video, I ask that you would give it a like, and even more, if you would subscribe to my channel, that would help me out so much. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos. I hope that you give Chaffles a try, whether it's for breakfast, and you're gonna put like some sugar-free syrup on there, whether it's something like this. You can do one that is more just a neutral flavor, where you could use it as a bun for a hamburger. So many options. So I really hope that you give this a try and that you love it just as much as we do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.